Okay, welcome to the next Blender tutorial. So today we're going to be exploring a little bit of lighting with some gemstones and stuff like that, with some chains. So what I'm going to do to begin with, let's go ahead and delete this default cube, and I'm just going to go ahead and add, let's go with plane. I'm going to go ahead and scale this out for you guys in just a second. So let's go S for scale. And I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate this. So Shift D, bring this up, R for rotate, and we can go 90 just at the side right here. I'm just going to go ahead and just make this a little backdrop for our piece. And then I'm going to select them both with Shift and S to scale just sideways. And also maybe I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. So let's go with G just to move it in the middle, and then S to scale. Okay, so once we've got these two together, what I'm going to do, let's start building a little pendant in the middle right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just split the atom real quick, so you guys can see what's going on with the pendant on this side, and then I'll make it on this side. So let's go ahead and just, first and foremost, let's go to render, switch out the render engine from Eevee to cycles. And we're going to go ahead and add in a icosphere. So let's go G, bring this up. I'm going to go with 1, which is side view right here. And all I'm going to do with this is, let's turn on toggle X-ray, which is at the top. And I'm going to go to edit mode. And essentially what we want to do is select the top faces right here. Press S to scale. We want to make a nice little point coming up to the top. Let's press G, bring this up. So we've got this nice little teardrop going on. We can also go ahead, if you wanted to, and subdivide all of this. So, I mean, you can select just the faces here and then click subdivide. And you should be able to subdivide it as such. If that's not what you're wanting, we can unsubdivide that by pressing Ctrl Z. And it will go back to normal. So, essentially what we want a nice little point coming up at the top right here. So I'm just going to select this one right here. Let's press G, bring this up. So that we can loop a little loop inside right here. So, what we're going to do, let's go to object mode real quick. I'm going to go ahead and add, let's go with Taurus. G, bring it up. S for scale, just to bring it down a little bit. We're going to go ahead and just right click shade smooth and rotate on the y-axis by 90 so that it's sideways. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, make it just a little bit smaller. So we've got something just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and add the materials actually. So let's go to the materials tab. We'll go with new material. Let's make this a metallic. So switch out your principal BSDF for metallic BSDF. We'll change base color to kind of like a nice orangey yellow. If you guys want the exact same tone, you've got the hex right here. Just type this in. It should work beautifully for you. So let's take down the roughness as well. Let's go on to render, see what we can see. So we're going to want like a nice little gold loop right there. For the pendant, we're going to want glass. So let's go ahead, let's go new. And this material, let's name this glass. You can name the other material for the loop as bronze or something, or gold, kind of metallic. Totally up to you. So let's take the droplet that we've got right here. Let's change this principal BSDF to glass BSDF. And you can just turn down the roughness there. And you should have something like this. So, once we've got this right here, what we can now start to do is make a little chain going upwards. So I'm just going to take it off render real quick. And this is the point where you can see sideways as to how this is going to work. So let's take the initial loop right here. We're going to go Shift D, bring this up. And what I'm going to do, let's go R for rotate. And you want to rotate up against the Z axis. We're going to go 90. Just as such. And we're going to make these loops just a little bit smaller. Now these might be a little bit thicker, but If we make them slightly smaller, they should be pretty cool. So let's go with G. Just bring that down. Make sure that these two are looping together and they're not interacting in the middle too much. So you've got that nice little buffer zone. We're going to go ahead and take this one. We'll go Shift D. Bring this up. You're going to want to make sure that, again, these two don't touch. Or at least, if they do touch, they're a little bit just apart. We're going to go alpha rotate. Again, with the Z axis. And we'll go for 90, which is 90 degrees. So now we have this nice little loop. So all we need to do now is take this loop that we made initially and this loop that we made with ladder. Let's go ahead with holding down Shift and click both. And we're going to go Shift D and bring these up. So now you can see on this loop right here, we have this circle and we have this circle. That is where this shape comes round just here. So you're going to want to put this just underneath here. So let's go G. So that's like the inside of the shape. It's kind of coming up and round and then it comes back down again on the other side. So let's take all of these. Hold down Shift. We're going to go Shift D. And then we'll take this up again. And again, we're going to want to go under that circle, just underneath, right there. And essentially we just want to carry this on as far as you need to with your project. So now we should have a nice little pendant. I'm just going to go ahead and amend the background real quick. Just bring that down to there. So now we should have something like this. Now, I don't quite like the lighting that's coming through at the moment. I think I'm going to go ahead and just place some different lights in here. You could also amend some of the tones that are coming through in here as well. I mean, like, this will probably be more experimental than anything. So if we go to the shading tab real quick. When we click onto our glass right here, this will be totally experimental. If you want to do this, it's totally up to you. We can go color ramp. Let's see. Sorry, I've spelled that the English way, haven't I? There we go, color ramp. Spelled the American way if you guys are wondering. So we're going to go color to color. So now we have kind of this dark kind of shades that going on. We're going to get rid of the black right here. So let's go minus on the black. We now have white that goes all the way through. Let's go plus, and we're going to plus white a couple of times. Let's go another couple pluses. Try and get them just equidistant from each other. And all you want to do, let's go for some more right here. So maybe just half that, half that. Maybe have some off center. It seems like I'm not really doing much right now, but trust me, just trust the process. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go white, and then you want a tone, white, tone, white, tone, white, tone. Essentially, that's the theory. So, what we could do from here is, let's go with a nice little pink, something like that. The idea is to give it somewhat of, I don't know what you call it, like ambiance, I guess. Like tint or something like that, you know. Let's go with this one and go with the blue. So you've kind of got that nice little kind of shading going on. You see how that's turned pink now? So you can go ahead and just offset that just slightly into a blue or something. Or a nice turquoise green. Up to you. It's your design. Instead of just having one solid colour, you're kind of just pulling little aspects into it. So, yeah, we have the white there. You could go ahead and delete whites if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. You see how I move this and it changes tone? So you could like kind of pull that blue a little bit, that pink, if you wanted to. So just play around with it, see what you can do with it. I quite like that actually. You can also mess around with the IOR if you wanted to. Kind of make those folds a little bit deeper, make them less. Something you wanted to do. I'm going to put this back to the original. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put some lighting on it because I have a specific set of lighting kind of things that I do. So what I really don't like about Blender is these lights. I think that they're naff. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people like them, some people don't. For me personally, I like to make my own lighting rigs. I'm just difficult like that, you know. I'm just going to go ahead and just add some extra chain to this. Let's go with that one right there. You could also do something really funky with this as well. Instead of having round links, you could take all of these and you could press, let's select every single one apart from the one that's in the actual jewel right there. So we've got every single one apart from that one. You can press S for scale and you can kind of elongate them just slightly so they're not perfectly round. They kind of have this nice little long kind of look, like a bit of an offset. So the lighting rigs that I use, you go with a plane and you make it an emission. So we change that from principal BSTF to emission. Let's go with G, bring this up. I'm just going to go ahead and press S for scale, bring this across, and then you just want to angle it just ever so slightly, like that, almost like blinds. You can go ahead and rotate this just to get a different perspective. We can go G, bring this back, and then all you're going to do is just go Shift D, bring this down, Shift D, bring this down, Shift D, bring this down. It's not exactly natural lighting, but if you say like showcasing a piece like this, it kind of looks better, especially for a studio environment. So we've got that. Let's turn on the render, see how this looks. You see how you can kind of pick out certain little bits of the jewellery right there. So we're going to go for strength because all of these are the same material that we've just made with these emission panels right here from the planes. We can go ahead and just turn up the strength. So they should all be at the same strength. I'm going to go ahead actually and just amend this background to a grey. So let's go on new material and make this a grey. Kind of like that, and then we can go ahead and add the same material to the base as well. So you've got this. I like that. I think that looks better. So yeah, I guess that's a tutorial for today. If you guys liked, please subscribe. Would really appreciate the support, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.